Oh, goody.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So in this one we have some Datamined information about the upcoming nerfs to Zabu and Silver Surfer. This comes from snap.fan over in their Discord, and I would say is probably a pretty reliable source of information, as they have been pretty accurate with their Datamined stuff in the past. However, this is not officially from Second Dinner, so you can take it with a small grain of salt, but I think this is a trustworthy source, and given the information in it, I think it's pretty legitimate. I think these are the nerfs that are coming to these cards. Again, we don't know exactly when they're coming. I would take a bet and say it's going to come with the new season tonight, because if they're going to nerf them this week, it makes sense to do it at the start of the season. But yeah, let's talk about the changes to the cards here. So Zabu is going from a 3/2, your 4 cost cards, cost 2 less. He's getting a reduction in mana cost, so he's going down to a 2/2, but he's getting a reduction in his ability as well. So now your 4 cost cards will cost 1 less. This is a very significant change to the card. A little bit of a different direction than I was expecting them to go in. I thought they were just going to bump it to 4 and call it a day. They seem to have gone the other direction, which I don't really mind. This is going to kill off a lot of the current Zabu lists, but I don't think it makes it an unplayable card. Actually, I think Zabu is still going to have a fair bit of success, but the decks that use him are going to have to be a little bit different, and I don't think this is going to be the crazy, oh, you have Zabu on curve, you insta-snap because you have a good chance of winning the game. I think the chances of that go down, which is good, because I think it was just very coin flippy, polarizing, and didn't make for the healthiest of metas. I do think Zabu is still a decent card. They definitely didn't completely murder the card, and I do think there are still some scary things you can do with Zabu with this new change, namely Quinjet and Moon Girl stuff. One thing that this does hit is the double Spider-Man combo. While it's still technically possible if you do line up that Quinjet Moon Girl shenanigans, it's going to be really hard outside of that to Spider-Man on 5, which I think is one of the more frustrating interactions that Zabu enabled outside of just hand vomiting your cards. Dracula Zabu probably also gets significantly worse because it can't get rid of its hand as easily to guarantee it discards its big cards. So I do think Zabu will still be a playable card at this stat range, but you're going to see it limited to a smaller number of decks. I think Zabu's actually going to be an inclusion in Devil Dino, because you could now do something like Zabu on 2, you could follow it with a Mystique on 3, and then you get the original Zabu effect. Or if you have Quinjet and Moon Girl, who are both really good in a Dino deck, they make Zabu better. So I think Zabu is going to be sticking around, but he is no longer going to be warping the metagame around him in a very unhealthy way. So overall, different direction than I thought they were going to go in, but one I'm definitely happy with, and I think is a good change for the card and the game. Then Silver Surfer. So Silver Surfer gets a pretty significant change here too. Gets a buff from 0 power to 2 power. However, it is only buffing your other 3s by 2 power now instead of 3. This is one of the directions I thought they could go in, and it's one I think is pretty fine for the card. I think Silver Surfer is going to remain a playable card. Obviously, this nerf hits it a bit harder for negative Surfer decks. That said, I still think negative Surfer might be a thing. I think it can survive this because there are so many other good 0 cost negative flip cards, and you are still technically getting a reduction if you do get Silver Surfer off of negative, but it's no longer going to be a free card. Other than that, it is a pretty significant reduction to the total power this card can put out, but given that it was one of the most powerful things, or in terms of like how much power you can output, it was one of the best things you were able to do in the game. I'm not surprised that they went this direction, and I think it's fine. I think Silver Surfer will remain a playable card. The archetypes that he exists in, I don't think will change super significantly, though there is an argument for running Zabu over Psylocke in negative Surfer now, which is kind of funny. But I don't think Silver Surfer decks are going to change a whole ton. They might. It really depends on the context of the other stuff in the meta, but I do think that both of these changes are good changes overall. They're not deleting the cards. These cards will still see play. I am pretty sure of that. I'd be incredibly surprised if they just disappeared entirely. I think they're still going to be relevant meta contenders, but I don't think they're going to be head and shoulders above a lot of the other decks in the game, which is probably for the best. Allows a lot of archetypes that have gotten pushed out in the last month and a half or so to kind of make their way back into the game. Now again, we don't know when these balance changes are going live. If I were to take a bet, I think it would make a lot of sense for them to release these changes with the new season dropping later tonight, as it would be kind of weird to release a new season when we know changes are coming, but have them take another day or two. We do know they're coming sometime this week, but I would take a guess that they're coming later tonight, but we'll see. Still waiting for an official announcement, and whenever we do get that official announcement, I'll be doing another video to cover the changes, if they're any different, and other information we get, mainly the confirmation of which cards are going to be joining the game for this February season, as well as new locations and all that other stuff. But yeah, those are the changes to Zabu and Silver Surfer, or the leak changes. I'm really curious what everyone thinks about these changes. I know nerfs can be a controversial topic, but I do think these are going to do a lot to make the game more of an enjoyable experience and let a lot more decks thrive in the newly adapting metagame. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.